Flight Boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're now listening to the Mind of an Antares Moon. Flight Boss, the Archangel Uriel. And I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And I just realized in my last video, I didn't even get to the point that I was supposed to get to. I went into something else, so I'm going to title that video something different. But I'm going to title this one, Moon Rituals. And the best time to plant seeds. Now, the first thing you need to understand when we talk about this is you need to understand, it's three things you need to know. What sign the moon is in, the modality of the moon, which is if it's in a fixed, cardinal, or, you know, modality, energetic vibration, and the phase, which will be waning or waxing. You see what I'm saying? And we can get to the quarters of them, but you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to do a broad perspective so you could get a clear understanding. Now, what is planting seeds? Planting seeds is an idea, a thought, a spirit. Then planting it is putting it in darkness, a void, dirt, the rainbow waters, the space, the imagination. So that's like you putting the idea and putting it in a void. That means when you put it in a void, that means you don't let it fly off. You hold it in one spot. You hold it into the rainbow waters. And within, that's the world of imaginations. You know what I'm saying? Which you would call space, but that's the world of imagination. And a lot of other spirits can come and you know, take part of that land and things of that nature also. And take part in its growth. But for the most part, that's what planting a seed is. So once you understand that concept, understand that planting a seed, like the formulation of a seed would be an idea, and it actually getting watered or it getting put into something, and that's actually giving it emotions and feelings, vibrations, expressing it. That's watering it. Watering the seed. But first it have to be in the void for it to be water. The void is like waters. It's like dirt and all that on the highest density. So that's planting a seed. Now, things can grow out of that seed, aka trees. And trees have branches, which is extended life forms of the tree. So, for an example, now the moon. Reason why it's important to know the phases is because when you look at waning and waxing, waning is on its way to a new moon, waxing is on its way to a full moon. Now, you may have a lot of religious people or spiritual systems out here that'll teach you that you're supposed to do all your seed planting when the moon is waxing. This is false. Do not listen to any of them, because you need to understand everything from an energetic force. When something is waxing, right, it's getting bigger, it's growing. So you don't need to stunt something's growth, someone's growth, or something that's growing. So when something is getting bigger, it's already on its growth process, and it's already on its process to getting full. And see, when we look at the moon concepts also, people look at it like from an eating point of view, when that's genuinely not what it's doing. So I like to say it's growing, and the growth is in different cycles. You see what I'm saying? This is why you say it's a new moon, it's growing to something bigger. Then it does it again. It's a full moon, then it sheds. But once you get to, it's more snake-like than anything. Once you get to talking about it like it's a form of an eating or something like that, then you will start to think that the full moon is a time that you're supposed to gain a lot, and the full moon is a time you're supposed to let go a lot. AKA that'll take you into the mind frame of thinking you're supposed to plant seeds when the moon is waxing, and you're supposed to experience them when it's waning, which that's living in reverse. Like you could look at my other video that I just put up about the moon and things of that nature. That's false. When we know when it's a full moon, that's when your own emotions and feelings get most experienced, right? is at the most maximum state. You see what I'm saying? It's getting most experienced. So when something is growing, it heightens its experience. So we know when something is waning, it's going down. We know when you plant a seed, it goes down. It goes in. If you don't want to correlate it to direction, it goes in. You see what I'm saying? So same way with waning. Waning is something when you see when it look like it's shedding now. So since you correlate it to something eating and the moon eating and shedding, you think it's the shedding. But really, what y'all don't know is the moon is going in something. And what it's going into, you can't see. Or what's in front of it. But it's going into another realm of reality. And it comes out as a new moon. Same way you go in and take a shower or a bath and you come out as a new person. That's what baptize is. You're supposed to let all the emotions and feelings that you have experienced yesterday and let them wash off and drain with the waters of today. And when you get out the tub, that you're supposed to feel like a new person without attaching any old memories that may hinder you or hinder any and dictate any of your actions for today. That's what baptism is. You see what I'm saying? So that's what the moon is doing. It's like the moon is going somewhere, is going into another realm of reality. You know what I'm saying? And people are saying that is what we can't see. Nah, it's going into another realm. There's a lot of bodies and things of that nature in space that y'all is not aware of. This is why y'all unaware of yourself. Anytime you get into a new circumstance or situation and don't know what to do. When a person who know themselves going to have a little bit more ability to be aware of what's going on than a person who just experiencing and all goofy and things of that nature. Now, you see, for the most part, now, when the moon is waning, this is the time when you're supposed to be planting seeds. Now, when the moon is on its waning course, this is where it comes important to know what sign is in. Because the sign is going to tell you what kind of elemental energy, what kind of seed you need to formulate. Now, it may be harder for you to make a seed than others. Why is that? Because your moon and sun may square or oppose, or even to a certain degree trine and sextile or conjunct the moon in its phase where it's at in today that you need to pay attention to. So if it's squaring, you may need to learn from how other people relate or respond and react to the world that we in order for you to formulate the right seed. If you opposing, you may have to create a give or receive match other than a tug of war match to plant a seed. You see, if it's trining, you may have a gift to know how to plant a seed, but that seed may be a manipulative seed or whatever like that. And if it's a sextile is an opportunity. That may be a seed that create opportunities, but it can be bad or good opportunities depending on how you carry out your energies and how much you know thyself and how much you know how many planetary angles you have. Also, when we get to conjunction, that can play all four. You see what I'm saying? Because you have the power and authority over the seed itself, because the way the seed is being formulated that day is in the way that you're formulating seeds all day, every day anyway. Same planet, same sign. See what I'm saying? Conjunction. Now, see, when we talk now, this is planting a seed. Now, when the moon is waning, this is time for you to plant seeds into the way that the seeds need to be formulated. So for an example, say the moon is in Pisces. So this is how your seed need to be formulated. So if you're squaring Pisces or opposing it, if you're opposing it, which is this opposition ain't as worse as the other oppositions, but it still play opposition aspects sometimes, which is well, nah. Matter of fact, this is a bad, because I'm thinking of Sagittarius and Gemini. That one is a more relaxing opposition than all the other oppositions, just because of the Mercury likes to learn and Jupiter has wisdom. So that opposition makes it faster to be a give or receive than a tug of war, but they still clash. But what I was meant to say is that the moon in Pisces, the opposition is Virgo. So for the most part, you know, Virgo moons or suns or Mercuries or ascendants, when the moon is in Pisces and say it's waning, the way you may plant seeds may be a little difficult at times, and you may have to align yourself, because see, the seeds that you may plant may be resistant seeds. restrictive seeds and things of that nature. So you don't want to plant those seeds because you're already in an energetic force of being opposed against and having it more of a hard time to make it a give-receive match other than a tug-of-war match, as oppositions do. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, and then with the moon, say the moon is in Gemini or Sagittarius, this will be a square to the moon being in Pisces. So you would have to put yourself in a circumstance, a situation where you would have to learn from others how they relate or react or respond to the world that they're in. And you see what I'm saying? Because the moon is who you are, how you react and how you respond. And if you're not learning and you're just constantly planting seeds the way you've been planting seeds, you'll plant a lot of bad seeds. If it's trining your moon, you have the gift of already planting seeds because it's already in your kind of elemental nature. But this is where the modality gonna step in. Because if the moon is in Pisces, but your moon is in Scorpio or Cancer, then the way that you're planting seeds is not in a mutable way. You may have an initiative, forceful way is Cancer, or you may have a fixated, stubborn way, Scorpio, and those seeds still gonna be seeds that don't flourish right in the mutability. Because when you look at moon and Pisces, these are the seeds that you're supposed to be planting. Pisces is mutable water, being mutable. All right, so the moon is reacting, responding, and being who you are. So that's adding emotions and feelings to things and vibrating. Pisces represents mutable water, being mutable, being able to adapt to your own or other people's ways of dealing with the emotions and feelings, right? That's Pisces. Now, Pisces ruled by Jupiter and Neptune, 50% Neptune, because it's a further away planet. But let's say Jupiter, Neptune. So Pisces is filled with wisdom, knowledge, experiences in their life. So they experience their wisdom and knowledge and their meaning and reasonings behind things, which tap them into the spiritual realm. And then add Neptune to it, it's going to add the dreams, illusions, creativity, imagination, and the fantasy and the mysticism to the spirituality or to their wisdom or to their experiences. So Pisces, when they're living life through their experiences, everybody, or you can walk up the street, that's an experience. Their experiences can lead them into an illusion or dream-like or fantasy world. You see what I'm saying? So now your creativity can be involved in this. So when the moon is in Pisces, these are the seeds you're supposed to be planting. These are the emotions and feelings and the vibrations you're supposed to be paying attention to in your own life. So if the moon is in Pisces and you have a moon in Leo at times, or you have a moon you got a moon in Cancer, or a moon in Virgo, or moon in another placement, then when the moon is going through Pisces, you may not feel comfortable, or you may not react or respond to your imagination, dreams, or creativity, or imagination, or your wisdom or experiences as fast as another sign who may have their moon sextiling or trining that moon at that day. You see what I'm saying? Because, well, and not necessarily just trining, because, you know, that's still a position, but they could find it. But for the most part, yeah, the moon in different type of placements like Leo, you know, Cancer is still a trine, but it's a cardinal. That's why the modality is important. And Virgo or opposition or things of that nature, it may be hard for you to focus and react to that. So the seeds that you plant, if you don't know thyself and you don't know that's what's going on, then the seeds that you're going to be automatically planting is going to be seeds that not in your favor. Now, reason why I say it's important to plant seeds while it's waning, because when it's waning and then something become a new moon, that's the seed becoming a new life. The seed actually planted. Now it's going to be on its way of growing up out. You see what I'm saying? As becoming full or growing, aka that seed became a new living being and now it's going to grow and be able to blossom. So you be able to see it. See, and once you understand this is how you would know from an energetic standpoint that anybody who's teaching plant seeds while the moon is waxing is wrong. Because we know just by life, just by energetic life and the way things work, we know planting is going down, and we know something grows from the things that you plant. So we know when we see the moon waning, that something is being planted, and when we see the moon waxing, something is growing out of that. So when the moon is waxing, you are not supposed to be planting any seeds. You're supposed to be experiencing the seeds that you have already planted, which you already do. But everything is so mixed and mangled, and you live in reverse and backwards, you could be experiencing the wrong seeds You could be trying to plant seeds when seeds is trying to grow. You see what I'm saying? And therefore, you all over the place. And you get through emotional, chaotic moments to the point that when it's a full moon, whatever seed that you planted, once it grow, you experience that seed. And if it was a wrong kind of seed, you're going to be in a wrong emotional state. You're going to experience bad emotions and feelings or things that make you feel bad when the moon is full. You see what I'm saying? And then you're going to be like, dang, you're going to blame it on because it was a full moon. No, you need to blame it on because of the fucking seeds that you're planting and you not understanding. But it's a little bit of my fault because I haven't made this video. You see what I'm saying? But for the most part, yeah, when the moon is waxing, that's for you to relax and experience all the seeds that you planted. So if you are spiritually inclined and now you watch this video and now you know about planting seeds and moon rituals, now you know what seeds you're going to be planting, and now you know that you're doing it in the right time. And now you know what not to do, what to do and what not to do when the moon is waxing. And now you know what receiving you're going to get from what you put out, from what you planted. Now you know what fruits and labors you're going to get out of that. So for an example, when the moon is waning, say you didn't plant some seeds, you want a job and you placed a job application when the moon was waning. And okay, say the moon was in Taurus. So, right, the way you had to plant the seed was in a practical way, a fixated way. So, and a way that makes sense. So all the emotions and feelings that you add to that job that you get, you better make sure that you have vibrations with that frequency, aka emotions with that idea. You better make sure those emotions and vibrations added to it was forms of practicality, something that makes sense, something that's dealing with stableness, something that's gonna have you fixated in it, aka make sure that you feel the way you feel about that job is you're not leaving that job no time soon. If you was to get that job, you will be fixated in that job. You will see that job through. See that job all the way through. You see what I'm saying? It's not a job that you're not putting it in a vibration of, oh, this is a job I want from here and there, or here, or just for right now, so I can get from point A. The moon ain't in Mercury or nothing like that right now. The moon is in motherfucking Taurus. You see what I'm saying? Now, that's already planting a bad seed. You better, so you shouldn't even be, you see what I'm saying? You can get, it's so deep. But for the most part, if the moon was in Taurus and is waning, the seed you're supposed to be planting, if you're planting getting a job seed, if that's what you're doing, then that seed, make sure the vibrations is accumulated of all Taurus things, and the modality fixed things. And I just explained it to you. What is Taurus? Fixed Earth, being fixated on its own way of thinking and being practical, which ultimately is making sense. And what is Earth? And I displayed Earth. All right, and then that's Taurus. And then, yeah, it's Earth, growth, vibration, you know what I'm saying, being nourishment, caring, you know what I'm saying, and growth itself, stability, physicality, shape, form. That's the energetic force of Earth. So this is the things and the vibrations that you're supposed to be giving it to. What's the modality? Fixed, being stable, stability. So make sure these are the vibrations that you're adding, and make sure this job makes sense and all that. Make sure this the vibration that you add to that seed, that frequency, right? So, boom, you did that when the moon is waning, right? Now, if you did that, right, now when the moon start to wax, in some way, shape, or form, even if it's not from that same job, you might have put in a whole bunch of applications. Make sure your vibration was in that. In some way, shape, or form, even if it don't come in the shape or form of a job. When the moon is waxing, you're going to be able to experience the seed grow from where what you planted. Now when we get to the quarters, like we talk about gibberish and things of that nature, that's how much of the growth you see of it. So that's the only time you pay attention to the quarters of it. But we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about because things is phases anyway, so you're going to naturally see it grow anyway, and you're going to stop caring about the quarterly aspects of it anyway and just see it as one half, day and night. You see what I'm saying? And for the most part, you're gonna slowly but surely start seeing the things come into densities, into different forms of you experiencing the growth or the experience of the seed that you planted. And if you know how to plant seeds, you know what you finna get back. So you know it ain't gonna be no bullshit. If you planted good seeds, you know you ain't about to get no bad seeds back, no bad fruit back. You know what I'm saying? No bad vegetables back. And that's how that shit works. Flight buzz, bitch. Goddamn air. You could do this with anything. Air.